Welcome back to the Game Challenger. We were talking about AI at my job. Did you have a think about it? What jobs are coming? Well, today I have my special guest, Elaine, and we have Bosse and Joe and myself prepared to give you good news. What jobs are coming? So get your drinks, get everything, fasten your seatbelts, and we're going to let you know what jobs are coming, and that puts you in pole position for 2026. Please like, share, and subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and notify so that you can be made aware of our next part that's coming out soon. So, what jobs are coming in AI at my job? I hope it doesn't eat yours. So, over to the studio. When we talk about what jobs are coming, we're saying some of the highest paying jobs in 2025 didn't exist 5 years ago. Think about it. Some of the highest paying jobs in 2025 didn't exist 5 years ago. So that's good. That's pretty positive, isn't it? When we think about it, pretty positive. So if AI is automating the old world of work, what's waiting in the new world? So what are the future jobs? What are the future jobs to list? I think one of the biggest jobs going to be, or one of the definite future jobs going to be, is an AI trainer, isn't it? I'm not going to say all of them that I think because I want to give you guys a chance to think about. So I'm going to go to Elaine. What do you think the future jobs? Just think about what you think the future jobs going to be.
Well, you stole what I was going to say. I was going to say AI consultants,
Okay.
because I just feel that people don't know how AI can help them, how AI can assist them, and I
Fantastic.
think that someone like an AI consultant can go into a business and obviously do a 3 day, investigation and say where are your weak points, where do you need work, you go away for a few days, you come back with a plan, you come back, you've
Mm,
designed a few workflows, you've designed a few chatbots, you know. So for me, I think that that's one of the biggest things that's
fantastic.
definitely going to come.
Fantastic. And I want Joe, give me just one or two. Don't give me the whole list because I know you got a whole list. I just want one or two just to give Bossy a chance to talk to. Yeah?
Yeah, well, that's not really helpful, but
Or
I
should I
will
come to you
do my
last?
best.
Should I come
I
to you
said
last? Let me go to
I
let me
will
go
do
let
my
me go
best
to
in
let me
the
go to
area
Bossy
that,
first. Let me go to Bossy first.
yeah.
Bossy, you go first because Joe's gonna reel them off. Yeah?
Well, I'm going to talk from a data perspective, and everybody knows that data is the lifeblood of AI. So if you are working within a data role, there's going to be, AI is going to create a lot of opportunities for you to kind of like expand your role and get involved in AI with your role. So for example, if you're in data analytics, if you're a data engineer, if you are even in software development or in database management or the database arena, AI means more work for you. Anything around data, because data is the lifeblood of AI. But the roles will change, as you said, because you're going to be using AI within your role. But I'm saying that there'll be there's going to be a new data market as well. So I think because of AI, there's going to be a new data market emerging. And that means that people will want propriety over their data, won't they? So it means that people are going to start charging. The way I see it, people are going to start charging for data. So, yeah, I think that data roles are going to start exploding and they're going to double. So where they are at now, in the next couple of years, that data roles are going to double. They're definitely going to double.
Great. So Joe, over to you. But before you go to Joe, because Joe hasn't muted, I like, I mean, you said data, and people just need to understand, like Bossy has said, without data, you don't have AI. Yeah. Data's AI it's like, imagine you don't have food. You can't survive as a human being. Yeah. The food for AI is data.
So, Joe, what do you think the future jobs are going to be?
Yeah. Well, future jobs. The government is going to roll out about 300 data warehouse throughout the country in order to take advantage of artificial intelligence. So therefore, that will create jobs in the software development, whereby where they used to need about 20, 30 in a project, now they only need 3 or 4 with those skills who have artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence engineers, consultants, and there's this particular skills that you need for global business. And these consist of ISO 42001. This is how the governance, the rules guiding the use of artificial intelligence within an organization. You need that, or else, it's like the OK Corral. Yeah. Everybody using it willy-nilly. But there are rules in terms of data protection, in terms of protecting data. Yeah. So that's one aspect. Software engineers, network engineers who work in data warehouses, yeah, which are going to be springing up all over the country, yeah, in order to take advantage of, this new tools that the government's bringing out in terms of HMRC, that data needs to be processed in a data warehouse. Many retailers have their own data warehouse. So you need network engineers to manage, maintain. And another key point is robotics. Robotics. In China, there are 24-hour factories making cars, but you also need engineers to maintain those machines. So you need engineers, which are not enough, but also artificial intelligence is also creating hackers who are exploiting the fact that we're using software, we're using application, we're using AI to develop a lot of application without any security. And security is an afterthought. So you need cybersecurity in order to protect artificial intelligence, because we're processing data. The same with data, SQL, such as SQL injection, yeah, where you're able to access somebody's e-commerce and access the credit card of customers.
Right.
So these are areas that there's a major job requirement.
I think the positive thing thank you, Joe. There's so many things there that you can hit on. I mean, you talked about AI needs protection. Yeah. So obviously cybersecurity, but will cyber security, will the cyber ever be automated? That's a question that we need to ask. Yeah. The other thing that these job roles that we're talking in data, Bosse, are you seeing demands in these roles in hiring data people now? Are they reflecting now? Are they coming through now?
I think the good thing is when you go and have a look, data roles are there. They haven't gone. So they're only gonna double. And I think that some of the roles, like the data engineering roles, they are going to stay the same. But obviously, yes, you're going to incorporate AI, but they're only going to advance. So I think there's definitely going to be one of the podcasts I watched where they had fact checked this information. The guy had said data roles are going to double in the next couple of years. Okay. So where it's 500,000, it's going to be triple that or double that.
So there's going to be an explosion in the next 5 years.
Yeah. So he said it's a good career to be in. He actually said it's a good career. And he also said you can pivot. So if, for example, you're data analytics, you're a data analyst, or you're a software developer, being in data, you can pivot into these other roles very easily because you need to just upskill, don't you?
So
kind of
that's
thing.
right.
There's an overlap of skills.
Mhm. Okay. Because I think one of the things that we need to do is, I mean, I want to move on to the next topic, the next part. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I want everyone to know that it's not all negative, the fact that AI is coming and taking your jobs. Maybe your jobs are no longer jobs anymore. Maybe they're meant to be replaced by AI so that you can move on to a higher level of job. And that's where AI is going to take us to the higher level, non-repetitive job, more intelligence required. Yeah. I think the other thing I'll say, just to list out for the people that are here on this show, it's positive. We've got AI trainers we talked about, prompt engineers. We talked about prompt engineers. That's another thing. We talked about data engineers. Yeah. AI ops. Yeah. AI ethics and compliance roles. That's because at the end of the day, we've got to get compliance in there. We've got cybersecurity automation, robotics technicians. You know, a lot of people are mechanics at the moment. The mechanics are running out of jobs because the cars are no longer going to be what they used to be. But isn't it great to retrain into a robotic technician? Yeah. We've got digital health and care roles. We also have creative AI directors, you know, and the list goes on. Human machine. There's going to be, remember, there are going to be human machine collaboration roles. Think about it, because there has to be that interface, doesn't it? So we have it. So Elaine, just before we move on to the next part, what I want to say is when you're helping someone reinvent themselves, yeah, how do you guide them towards future-proof careers rather than just replacement jobs?
I think I have to be guided by the individual. I have to be guided by what their passion is. I think it's about listening to the person, and then my ideas around AI. I mean, obviously, I do get input from people who are doing different roles, and I kind of like to introduce them to roles that they think they're interested in, and maybe get them talking to people who are in those certain roles that have got sort of AI they've started using AI, if that's what they want to do. But it's very much down to the individual. I can't force people to go into a role that's future proof. You know, if they want to work in a sort of swannery sort of thing, and that's what they want to do, then that's what they do. But I can certainly tell them the benefits of having a career that's to do with AI, and open up a new world to them. I think it's about giving people a vision about how they can see themselves and what they're capable of. Because I think when we're at school, we're so told that this is, you know, when I was at school, I was told you're going to be a nurse or you're going to be a secretary. You know, those are the sort of things that I was told. And in today's new world, you can be anything, because if you don't know how to do something, you just talk to ChatGPT or talk to Grok or something like that, and you sort of teach yourself, or, you know, get on a course. So it's all about this, you know, lifelong learning. So if you're in a role and you want to do something completely different, you can. You know, there is no limit.
Right, right. That sounds good. I mean, to be honest with you, I like the fact that you show them what's possible. And it's for them to then say, right, I'm interested in that career path. And also, you're showing them this is future proof and this is a replacement. And also the advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, you've got the experience for a replacement job, but how many replacement jobs are there? You know, but then the ones that are future proof, they're increasing in demand. So what are you looking at the future? So I like that. Yeah. Joe, your hand's raised, so I want to lower your hand so you can talk. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, future proof. As you said, just wanted to add to that. Yeah, future proof basically are people with critical thinking. We still need critical thinking. Yeah, strategic decision making people. Those who have those skills, people skills, soft skills are still required, which AI cannot do. Yeah. These are underpinning what is going to happen in the future. The job that's not going to be at risk, critical thinking, decision making, and creative thinking and physical skills such as plumbing, bricklayer, scaffolding, Sonnison's construction. While the rest of us are struggling for work, he's not. Yeah. So those and these are backed up by they call him the godfather of AI, one of the creators of AI. Those jobs are not going to be at risk.
Right.
But the low-level jobs will be at risk.
I think, Joe, where you are right now, which is quite a good point for us to move on to the next, because let's get practical. So what we need to do is we need to think about which jobs are actually safe and which ones are on life support, because there are some jobs that are on life support right now. Yeah. And those of you that understand that, I hope you see that. So who's safe? Who's not? So let's talk risk. So what we need to do is, if your job is repetitive, predictable, or process driven, AI is already learning how to do it. So think about it. If you go into work and it's the same thing every day that you're doing, it's repetitive, it's predictable, and it's process driven, then AI is already learning how to do your job. So I know we say some jobs at the moment are exempt. It's only that AI hasn't got to them yet. Yeah, it's not that they're exempt for life. It's just, so let me just, Bosse, which industries are most exposed to automation?
Oh, there's quite a few industries. I think I know that it's affected the law industry already. It's affected the or UPS. I think they laid off 48,000 workers. So the industries where they are about delivering, delivering products, yeah, they're affected. What other industries? Education industry is affected as well. So I think where there's a lot of administrative roles, the industry is going to be affected. And like you said, if it's something that AI can do faster and better, yeah, it's going to affect that industry.
What about the sewing industry?
You say sewing?
Yeah, what about sewing industry? The sewing industry.
Well, I was having a discussion with you about this the other day, actually, because we were talking about factories, and I was saying to you that AI can't do what a machinist can do. You know, if they are making garments, AI can't do that. So why, AI can't do those things, so they're not going to be replaced.
Well, let me ask you a question. If someone's making clothing,
yeah,
is it repetitive?
Yeah, it's repetitive.
So AI is already learning, isn't it? It's learning. It may not be doing it right now, but it's learning. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you think about it, to get a robot to do what a machinist is doing, and suppose they're making underwear, for example, that garment is quite intricate and it's going to need stitching in a certain way. A robot will probably cost you so much money to employ rather than a human. So I don't really see where AI could replace a human in that instance.
A lot of these big companies, they're spending big money and they're not in profit. They're in loss because what they want to do is create the first automated this or the first AI this or the first. They don't need to make money at the moment. They have investors throwing money at them. Eventually, once they create the robot that does it, then they will start making it more commercial and making money out of it. So, one thing I'll say to everybody is to stop thinking like an expert. Yeah, because what it is when we think where we are right now, nothing's possible. Yeah. If we open the lid, yeah, and make everything possible, then that's when you see how it's possible. Yeah, just like someone said to me, I think it was in the blockchain event I went to. I was listening to a talk there, and then some person that created the automated car for Google, but before they had an automated car, but it wasn't for Google. And the Google boss approached them and said, "Well, why don't we do this in like the streets of New York, the streets of London, and so on?" And the person who actually created the automated car and got it working said, "You know what? It's not going to be possible." But each time they said it's not possible, the Google person, the Google head of Google, or whoever it was, came back to him and says, "Why is it not possible?" And he said, "Well, this, that, the other." Then the final thing was when the boss of Google said, "Okay, you know what I want you to do? Tell me technically why is it not possible?" And the person says they couldn't actually tell them why is it not technically possible. And guess what? As a result of that, they then created the whole thing. So what he said in that conference was that it's the experts, the people that call themselves experts, that limit the technology. So you need to stop calling yourself an expert because things are moving past that expert head every day. That's the key thing. So I know with what you're talking about is what is physically possible right now, but we don't know what's going to happen. We said how fast, I think Elaine mentioned how fast AI is moving forward. Yeah. And it's moving forward rapidly. So we don't even know tomorrow what tomorrow holds. Yeah. That's from my side anyway. I think I'll give you a right to reply to that, but
Yes, Tony, I was listening to some very knowledgeable university lecturers from different spectrums, and it was a really interesting conversation they were having. And one of them was saying there's things that AI can do that are possible, but there's also things that don't make sense. So she says there are a lot of people with AI fantasies, and she kind of like said AI fanatics. And what she's trying to say is, yes, AI might be capable of doing many things, but there's possibilities and there's sensibilities, in the sense that I'm not going to get carried away with AI doing like impossible things. At the same time, we kind of like have to bring our senses back down to earth and think about AI in an ethical way, and in a way where the human race can survive and people can work with AI. Because yes, AI might be able to do many things, but you probably have to spend some ridiculous amount of money as well. And so sometimes you've got to weigh out, does it make sense to create robots that cost millions and millions of pounds to do certain things, or can we just let the human race do some of this? So I think there's a balance.
yeah, boss, you've now changed the topic. You've changed from it's not possible to is it worth doing it? Yeah.
I haven't changed it.
So what it is now, you've shifted the paradigm. You've shifted from, okay, is it worth doing it? Now, and one thing I'll say to you is the AI fanatics, what did you say? You said this
Well, she
AI
was saying
yeah,
fantasists, fanatics,
fanatics,
and
yeah.
all different things. Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
4 years ago, everything that was happening now, they thought those people were off their heads. Yeah, what we're experiencing now, 4 years ago, those people were off their heads. There is no ceiling at the moment. So people need to stop setting a ceiling. In this world, they're so used to setting a ceiling. There is no ceiling. The sky is not the limit anymore. We've gone past the sky. We're in the moon. So that's my idea. But I don't want to badger on about that. We'll come back to that at a later date. I'm sure we'll come. But but Joe, which skills will humans always do better than machines? This is an interesting one because I think Boss is kind of like arguing about this one. So which skills
So
will humans?
I just want to reply to what Bosse is saying. Um, and I'm going to answer your questions later on. The other countries that are fairly advanced than we are, like China, Japan, Korea, in terms of artificial intelligence. They've got mathematicians who are able to utilize the power of artificial intelligence. Yeah. So, therefore, the things we think automation, robotics, is already been done by other countries like China, and they've evidenced it in terms of robotics working in their daily life. Yeah. Factories that are open 24 hours, 24/7, yeah, producing electronic car without human beings are there already. So as to say that it can't produce cotton or clothes, it's a fallacy in itself, because that's been happening since the Industrial Revolution. Yeah. What we need to take into account is that we are in a new industrial revolution, bigger than the first industrial revolution, where automation, robotics is the king. The other thing I also want to add, AI, just to support what Boss is saying, AI is not quite everything. It doesn't do everything. Yeah. And if it does, it doesn't do it well. There are people who are publishing that AI does this in order to get more investment for their organization, but it doesn't actually do what they purport it to do. So that's one thing we need to get clear. Yeah. Other people are discussing about AI bubble bursts. So, that's something we need to be conscious of in terms of that. And just to answer your question again, Tony, what jobs is the future? What if I'm correct, this is the
No,
question.
the job is what skills will humans always do better than machines?
Yeah, when I answered that in my previous statement, creativity, thinking, decision making, low-level jobs such as plumbing, and electrician. These jobs are, and then soft skills, critical thinking, and these are the jobs that AI will not be able to take over for a while. There is a thing called super artificial intelligence that will be coming soon, but not here yet. 5 years, 10 years time, the whole environment will change with super artificial intelligence.
Right. Well, it's interesting. I'd love to know more about super artificial intelligence. But what I'm quite surprised about is your estimation of when it's coming, because 5 years is a long time in this age that we're in right now. I don't think anyone can think past 3 months right now, because things are changing so fast on a daily basis. I would be interested to know how they're estimating why it's going to take 5 years for super AI to come out. But anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting. But Elaine, do you want to say anything before we move on to the next the next segment, which is one of our final ones? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what you were saying about how about the Google car and
Mm.
the word expert, and I actually don't like the word expert. I mean, I remember when I was thinking about my title, I thought if you put the word expert on your job title, everyone thinks you know everything.
Yeah.
And I think also it means that if you're an expert, it means I'm there, I've made it. So it means, to me, it limits you. I don't need to learn anything else because I'm an expert, and one of my favorite sayings is, if you're the most intelligent person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So yeah, I was just wanting to make a comment about that. I just
Yeah,
thought it was interesting that you
yeah.
spoke about expert, and yeah, I think it's a bit of a funny word.
Yeah, I think we've used quite a few experts on this show. But I think point taken.
Well, in reply to
I
that,
Oh,
disagree. I
have I
disagree
just
with that.
upset everybody for no
no,
reason?
no, no,
you just upset our cybersecurity and data expert, and
no,
then
you're
No,
talking
I
about
disagree with that. If you've been
Oh,
in
sorry.
if you've
I'm
been
only
in the
joking. I'm
environment
only
for
joking.
30, 40 years and see the evolution, this is not the first shockwave to the technology world. There's the internet in the 1990s. There's the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
So why can't we not call ourselves expert?
Because that means you're putting a lid on yourself. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
You pass
yeah,
your
yeah,
sell-by date, basically.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Why not? Are you not expert? There are a lot of people don't know
But
what
but
we're talking about.
Joe, think about it carefully. Look how fast AI is moving. Yeah, you can't tell me you're an expert of where your profession's going in AI right now.
How that can AI,
You're
AI,
learning.
AI cannot tell the future. It can
You
only
know
tell the past
you know
and present.
one of my friends says every day is a school day. Yeah, every day is a school day. We're learning every day. And Joe, you said already, life is for learning. Yeah, so we're learning every day. So you can't. An expert doesn't need to learn. They know it. Yeah. So, but I think it's an interesting point anyway. And really, the reason why Elaine even brought that up is because what I said about the automated cars, and it was the professor that created the automated car that says his limitation of thinking beyond the boundary was because he was calling himself an expert. When he took that expert hat off is when the person said to him, "What is the technical reason why you cannot create the automated car on the streets of New York or the streets of London?" And that's when his expertise rose to another level. Yeah. So without further on that side, the other thing I want to say is, so if I now think about it carefully, and this might be controversial at the moment. And what it says, what I'm going to say here, listen carefully. If your job can be explained in a paragraph, it can probably be automated. If your job can be explained in a paragraph, it can probably be automated. And what do I mean by a paragraph? I mean, at the moment, what we're writing now is prompts. Yeah. So if you can write your job in a prompt, in a paragraph, then we can probably automate your job.
All right, this is a great time to stop. This is a great time to stop or pause. Should I say pause? You know, can a prompt pause us like this? Wow. We talked about the prompt, which means, guess what? The paragraph that could possibly replace you in your job. But hopefully, the good news is the next part, we're going to talk about the opportunity. Whenever there's a problem, there's also opportunity there. Can we get you in pole position to take advantage of the opportunity? Remember what we talk about. Look, what we need to do is what should we be learning now to take advantage of the opportunity? Skills, we talked about reinvention. We need to reinvent ourselves. We need to upskill mindsets and career strategies. So that's going to be on the next part. I hope you enjoyed this part. I'd like to say a big thank you to Bosse, Elaine, and Joe, and the experts that are rethinking whether they're experts. Because what I said before, think about it. If you're an expert, it could be limiting your thinking. So we need to take our experts hat off and we need to start knowing that we're learning. Every day is a school day, as one of my friends says. So that's me, Tony. Remember, what I want you to do is like, subscribe, and share. Keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing, keep liking, and please subscribe and notify for the next one. So look out for the next one. The next one's going to be the final one, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to put you in a good spirit and get you fired up for 2026. Remember, either adapt to change or be automated. And that's the end. So that's me, Tony, over and out from the Game Challenger. Remember, life is a game. We need to challenge the game. Thank you.